Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and it's been 2 years and over 100 cords, and it's time to do a review of the Ruggedmade RuggedSplit. We've definitely put it through its paces, and there's no doubts that this is an excellent machine. There's many caveats to that though, and if you want this machine, I will put links down below to take you to their website to get it, but you better watch the whole video because there's a lot you need to know. So, this is the base model of their Ruggedmade RuggedSplit. There is other models with other features. This is just the base model they have, and this is the one that fit our needs the best. First things first, when look at the pricing on this. We bought this to our door for about $2,700. The price is now $3,100. Most of that increase I can almost guarantee you is shipping. But that's the part you need to understand. This does not come like this. This comes to you on pallets and boxes. So you do have to assemble this. But I want you to understand that at that price point, most of the crappy, slow, big box splitters are almost at that price point now. So this is the 22 ton. It has a 24-inch stroke. All right, it does have a stroke limiter, but we'll talk about that among other things that I think is a con at the end of the video. So make sure you watch the whole thing. It also does come with a tray, a log lift. It also has a 4-way splitter attachment, or you can use the regular wedge. It does have electric start, which I don't bother to use. But when it comes, you also don't get any fluids, and you don't get your battery. You do get your battery box. You also get a different foot if you want to have it a different setup on the foot. You also get the other side catch if you don't want to use the log lift. So you get a lot for your value here, a lot for your money. Now, we need to start with putting it together. My wife and I did it in 5 hours, going very slow and being very meticulous. They have excellent videos online, guys, to put these together. Go in and watch a section of the video, go out and do the work. Come in and watch a section of the video, go out and do the work. But the nice part is, those videos were shot a while back, and since then, the guys have started assembling certain parts for you. Like when our motor came, the pump was already connected to it, so we didn't have to do that. We probably could have put the whole thing together a lot faster, but we were taking our time. So we were not in a hurry. We took breaks. We ended up going and having coffee. So you could probably rush it and get it done in about 3 hours. But the difference is we put ours together and didn't have a single leak. All right, that was amazing. It felt really good. Now, this is what I consider a low-end commercial machine. This is definitely not a homeowner machine. All right, the volume you can put through this thing with a 10-second cycle time is amazing. The 4-way splitter, if you're doing it for yourself or just split wood and you're just slapping away medium-sized stock and hammering down, you can make a lot of wood. We did compete in the 1/3 of a cord challenge that Hardworking Man did a few years ago. So, I mean, we can keep up with some times, but there's a few other features of this thing that I think sets it apart, because I've seen a lot of these lower end splitters with log lifts that have limits to what they can lift. I have never had more weight on this than I can lift. So we had a round of beach on here, I kid you not, was 3 foot across. Then we had my wife and me stand on it, and my son lifted us up. This thing would have to fall over before you could exceed its weight limit to lift. That log lift is absolutely unstoppable. Now, when you're going to transport this, you do have to take the table off. But I do want to say everything's there to tow this and haul it, and it rolls like a dream. It really does. Even on uneven roads, it doesn't bounce like normal splitters because of its longer setup and length. It really makes it nice for backing because it doesn't try and cut on you real fast. Now, the Raven motor on here is got to be some kind of Honda knockoff or something, because this thing just cannot die. I have run older gas in it. It has been out in the elements. I have not covered it up. It has just been flawless. 2 pulls at most, and that's usually in the dead of winter just because the oil is cold. Now, you choke this thing, give it a pull in the summer, first pull start every single time. And it is so fuel efficient, it doesn't even make sense. We will be out here and split half a cord on a tank when putting it in the kiln. Now, doing that, we're splitting it very small, so it's a little more time consuming, a little more hits. But that should just give you an idea of the fuel efficiency on that motor. Now the controls can be set to the right hand side position or left hand side position. You can also set your log lift up that way. Some people that are right-handed and left-handed want to be on different sides working on the splitter. It may be where your building is in relation to where you want to set this up. So that makes it nice, and you can also do a forward position if you want to just have straightforward controls. Personally, I like to have it this way towards me. That way I can go up down with the log lift and I can go forward back with the actual splitter. Now, the one thing I can say is you won't be disappointed. Because I can tell you now, if I had to go through 100 cords with a splitter I wasn't happy with, it would be sold. I don't care if it's a loss. Get it out of my yard. I'm going to go get one that I want to work with. Now, when you're actually looking at a splitter, I would encourage you not to go so much about the tonnage, because that's what a lot of these big box stores are doing. You go to Lowe's, it's $27 here. I mean, $2,700 here. With tax and everything, it's almost as much as this is to go pick up like a 35 ton. And those things are slow. They're so slow. They don't have very much stroke pattern. You can stand them up on end, but I find that that's nothing compared to having a log lift and getting it up this high. I don't like to be bent down going like this. I did that with my old Husky for a long time. It wasn't fun. But you're paying that much for something that's really slow, really bottom end, when you could have something that's very high end, very production oriented with about half the cycle time. Now, I did want to bring you in closer here and take a look at this. But first, I wanted to show you a little footage right after we assembled it, and also my wife having the first hit on it to hit wood. Because I feel like when you're assembling these things, and I want you to see what 2 years, what this machine looks like compared to what it looked like then. Now, while you're watching these clips, I want to tell you that they have an amazing service department. Almost always answer within 24 hours on the email. And generally speaking, if you catch them early enough in the day and you need something, they will ship it out same day. They do hold a large amount of stock, a large amount of parts. You don't have to be waiting forever to get your stuff. A lot of times, some of these countries are in other countries or their part suppliers are in other countries, and it just takes time to get stuff. But with that said, let me bring you up to a closer view now that you've seen what this machine looked like when we assembled it, and I will show you what it looks like now. All right, so let's start off here. You can see there is absolutely nothing wrong with the tabletop. The splitter, the actual head here is a little rounded over. It could be sharpened if you wanted to, but all the welds are solid and everything's good. And then when you come around here, the log lift is in complete functioning condition. The tires look good. The motor has some rust on the muffler. That's to be expected. As you can see, I don't clean this thing up. It's a mess. Look at the pump housing. All bullet aluminum. Looks beautiful, huh? A little sun work on the paint on the cylinder. Controls. Not a leaky mess, is it? Just look like good solid controls. Very, very good looking machine for 2 years. Generally speaking, it just sits outside. So very little has been done to this machine to protect it from the light. And there's your hitch. All right, so with all good comes some bad. And I might be nitpicking on these things, but when I'm using a machine, I spend this kind of money, I expect to have certain things. And these are trivial, really, in comparative to most things. Number one, right here at the edge of the actual log lift, when it comes up, if you're using a round that's too wide, it will actually catch that edge and starts to peel it up. I usually take a piece of wood and beat it right back down. But in the long run, I'm going to end up having to beat this down with a ball peen hammer and put some zip screws down in it to make sure that it's not peeling that sheet metal up. It's a small thing, and it's kind of using it as a table. When it's too high like that, my wife's very short, so when she's trying to reach across, her arms aren't very long, so she'll lift that thing all the way up, and then that thing catches all the time. Now, second, putting it together. I can tell you that'd be a con for most people. But what bothered me more is the delivery method. I paid extra for a lift gate because I didn't have a tractor here. I didn't have any way to unload it. I got the lift gate, and what'd they do? They backed the truck down here to where my house is, and the lift gate would not come down to the ground because the angle of his truck, because his truck was like this and wouldn't come down. So I ended up actually having to back my truck in, and then he put the lift gate down on my bed and slid the pallet with this on it in pieces into my truck, and then we hand loaded off the rest of the pallets into my truck. So the way it comes to be delivered, if you don't have an open area, may be a big problem. All right, so another con is the limiter. Now, for those of you who don't know, the limiter is just a metal plate that goes behind your push head here and bolts in. And then what happens is it shortens your stroke time, which shortens your time. So instead of 10 seconds, it should be like 8.5 seconds. Because instead of going 24 inches, you're going 20. But the problem I was having is no matter how much I adjusted the pump, whenever it came back, it would break the shear bolt between the cylinder and the push head. I went through multiple shear bolts trying this, and I finally realized it just wasn't worth my time to mess with it. So what I ended up doing is just not using it, and then when it comes back, I just stop it to fit the next 16 piece in. And that's how I fix my time. Now, if you're a one-man operation and you need to be like turning around to load, that might be useful. I just think the machine is too powerful when it pulls it back in order to stop like that. I feel like the machine just wants to go the full stroke because it's just too beefy. Could be me. It's just one of those things. Now, the only final con I have is the fact that I can't leave this hooked to my truck with the table in place, or be able to move it with the table in place. So an extension that was a little longer, in order to be able to move it around without having to take the table off, like if I'm just moving it from this side of my driveway to the other side of my driveway, that would be very nice. Because right now I put it on my truck and the bumper will hit the table anywhere I am. It's not a big deal, but theoretically it's something that if you had a different size that you could slide in or something to be able to move it, or maybe even move it from the back, that would make this machine even more amazing. But for the price point, guys, I'm literally telling you that some of the upper end big box store splitters are almost as much as this. The only difference is you have to have it shipped to you and you have to assemble it. Now, I'm going to post the pricing now. And I want you to understand that I believe it is without lift truck. The shipping's included, guys. The shipping's in there already. So really, at most, you might have to pay a little bit of up fee for the lift gate if you need it. But what's not to like? On a cost basis, this machine will outrun any big box store. I think a lot of the lower commercial machines out there would have a run for their money against this one. Now, I personally am a little over 6 foot. And when I'm standing on not a pile of chips, this thing is kind of low to my hips. Now, my wife is about 5'4", and she loves this thing. It's the perfect height for her. But it is not so low that I have to spend a lot of time bent over. I can hold my piece. You know, it's very comfortable at what it is. Now, if you guys are interested, like I said, I will put it down below. But if you put 100 cords through a splitter over a 2-year period, and I'm not talking about junk wood. I mean, we do a lot of oak around here. Some of the loads we bought log form are completely oak. So this machine has been put under a struggle, and it's pushed right through everything. I don't care how knotty it is. I don't care what happens. We have worked it in the dead of winter, and we have worked it in the dead of summer. Every season, every condition you possibly think of, she starts up every time. I've been out here with 3 foot of snow on this ground, and that thing is fired up. So it will never let you down, is my feeling, especially if you take care of it better than we do and maybe put it away in a garage or something, or even throw a tarp over it and be nice to it. Don't be like us and just leave it out in the elements. But with that said, and if you haven't already, and I really don't know why you wouldn't have by now, go down, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you see all of our upcoming videos, and maybe even some more about this as we try to upgrade it slightly. But give us a like and let us know what you think. Would you be willing to run this bad boy? Do you think it's good value for the money? Because I certainly do. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one.